in the country, and instead they will be allowed to self-regulate their activities. Speaking on Sunday at the AIC Milimani, Nairobi, during a church service, President William Ruto said the Constitution provides for freedom of worship. President Ruto's sentiments comes at a time the country is engulfed with discussions on the Mungatana bill that seeks to churches, noting that the proposals are being made about the regulation of the religious bill outfits are ill-advised. President Ruto was accompanied by First Lady Rachel Ruto.
Apart from what the Constitution provides, we are a God-fearing nation, and we will equally defend our faith. As Christians, as different religions, we will make sure that we protect the freedom of worship in Kenya. And I want to ask those who have ideas to allow religious leaders themselves to develop how they want to regulate themselves and how the church, how religious organizations are going to go forward. Because that was the recommendation of the task force I appointed under Reverend Mutaba Mushimi, that the religious body in Kenya will decide how they want to make sure that the freedom of worship in Kenya is protected. And I want to give assurance to the church and to the religious institutions in Kenya that we will defend the right and the freedom of worship in Kenya, and it will not be compromised in whatsoever manner.
The second day of public participation on the impeachment motion against Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was marked by low turnout in Embu. In Mbeere South constituency, residents unanimously agreed to come out with a common stand with regard to the motion. While faulting their Member of Parliament, Nebat Muriuki, for pending his signature to the motion without involving them, the residents said Gachagua should be given a fair hearing with regards to the accusations leveled against him. They also agreed to allow their MP the leeway to make the decision on how to cast his vote depending on his judgment of the allegations and his defense.
Tumekuwa hapa Mbeere South constituency office juu ya ile public participation na viongozi wa Mbeere South kutoka wadi zote wamekuwa hapa wakiwakilisha kila ward na wamejadiliana sana juu ya hiyo maneno na wamekuwa na resolution zao. Niliwaelezea vizuri ya kwamba hii public participation sio siasa. Hii ni mambo ambayo imetoka mbunge ikuja kwa wananchi ili wananchi waweze kujadiliana vizuri na wakuwe na maoni yao.
Hawa wananchi hakuna mahali walituma Mheshimiwa Engineer Nebat Muriuki kama mbunge wa Mbeere South kwenda kutenganisha vita kati ya Mheshimiwa Rais wa Kenya na naibu wake Rigathi. Kwa yale mambo ambayo nimetaja tulituma Mheshimiwa kwenda kufanya, sisi hatukumtuma aende akatenganisha hiyo vita. Na hatukutarajia mambo ya vita, sisi tulimueleza akae upande wa serikali. Na kwa sababu rasilimali zote za serikali huwa ziko kwa afisi ya rais, sisi kama wananchi na wakazi wa Mbeere South tumemwambia kwa kauli moja akae upande wa rais na asivutwe kwa vita ya kumngatua naibu wa rais.
Members of the Omugusi community from central Kenya have defended Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from claims of being a tribalist, dismissing the move to impeach him as unfortunate. Led by the spokesman, Albert Nyakundi, the group asked President William Ruto to intervene and stop the impeachment process, which they say is likely to create disharmony and conflicts. Defending the DP from the tribalist tag, Nyakundi said there are thousands of Kisii community members who have been living and working in the central region for decades and have no complaint against him.
Tuko hapa kukashifu huu mswada ambao tunaelezwa kwamba unaendelea wa kuimpeach naibu rais Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua. Wamemuita mkabila, wamemuita mwizi. Lakini mimi nasema hivi, tumeishi katika eneo hili la mlima, mkoa wa Kati zaidi ya miaka 40. Tumeishi na Mheshimiwa Gachagua, ameajiri wa Kisii katika biashara zake, na angekuwa ni mkabila jinsi inavyoenezwa, basi angekuwa ametufukuza, angekuwa ametufurusha. Kwa hiyo hili ni jambo ambalo naomba rais, yeye ndio boss. Hii mambo ya wabunge majority leader Kimani Ichung'wah, hii porojo yao wawache.
Gachagua hana shida, saa hii tuko na shida nyingi, mawaziri wamewekwa hapo hata hawajui mswada wa afya iko namna gani. Unapata waziri ajui adani diri iko aje na anasimama hapo. So vitu nyingi ambazo zinasumbua mwananchi vile tumepita ni kwamba watu wapate afya mzuri, barabara, wapate maji, kwa maana tukimuondoa haitaleta pesa ya kujenga barabara.
Hii kelele tunasikia ya Gachagua, si tunahangaika huku tunatafuta kazi, hatuna kazi, barabara mbaya, hospitali mbaya, zingine tunaambiwa shifu, sha, hatuelewi hizo ni nini. Tunasikia tu kelele ya waheshimiwa kwa bunge, tunasikia tu Ichung'wah sijui nini. Hizo vitu hazitusaidii. Sisi hatuna chakula, hatuna nini.
The First Lady of the Republic of Serbia, Her Excellency Tamara Vučić, is in the country as part of her African tour. She was hosted by Kenya's First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, at State House Nairobi, where discussions revolved around shared priorities on youth empowerment and education. Thereafter, the First Ladies visited the AEF Ruben Primary School in Embakasi South constituency, where the First Lady of Serbia donated tablets to boost the school's digital learning capacity and enable the learners to develop digital skills at an early age. Tamara Vučić encouraged the learners at Ruben Primary School to seek knowledge and learning opportunities through the digital tablets donated to the school. Rachel Ruto, on her part, emphasized the value of education as a great equalizer.
That she's passionate about is children and ECD, early learning for the children. And when she was coming to our great nation, she had a special gift in computers and laptops for our children in Kenya. And I remember asking my team, so where do we take these computers and laptops? And guess who were blessed to have those gadgets? and you know, we have many schools in Kenya, don't we? But imagine you have been picked.
Education is important, learning is important, but I want to share with you another message, what is even more important, and the First Lady was talking about that, is to be a good human being. It's important to be a good boy, a good girl, a good sister, a good brother, daughter, son. It's very important to support your friends and to help them in any way that you can. Also, these tablets that we are donating, I hope it will help you to learn, but also to play a little bit. And if I may ask you one thing to do when you get these tablets, that's my wish, and I hope you will make it true. Type into the Google or any other browser among the first things, among the first words, Serbia. And find it on the map and try to explore a little bit. Just as I explored something about Kenya before I came here.
In a bid to support small and medium enterprises, SNDBX International has announced the 4th edition of the Big Baraza Annual Conference under the theme Game Changers. The conference will spotlight how businesses can innovate and adapt to succeed by leveraging the right connections, opportunities and strategies. Scheduled for October 17th, running through to the 18th, 2024, the two-day conference is expected to bring together over 500 entrepreneurs and business owners nationwide. SNDBX International's CEO, Joram Mwinamo, emphasized the importance of rethinking traditional approaches to businesses. Kenya's SMEs continues to play a key role in the economy, employing over 15 million people and contributing 30% to the national value added, and SDB aims to address the specific challenges they face.
About game changers, who are those entrepreneurs who go changing the game in our environment to build ambitious businesses that go ahead to change society and do things, great things, not just locally, but regionally and globally as well. So we have invited entrepreneurs who are changing the game in different industries, in mobility, in fashion, in entertainment, in manufacturing, in all sorts of businesses. And so you can come and hear their stories.
As I mentioned earlier, one of the things which we have done is to set up a cooperative and SME fund, which will be able to support startups, especially women and youth. And so that is something which we have already provided for in our budget, and we look forward to rolling out and growing these entrepreneurs and their small businesses. And as has been said by the CEO, to grow them. And we also expect that soon some of the startups that have been initiated in Siaya will also become global entities.
The one thing that changes the game for SMEs is when they're able to understand their customers, understand their products, and understand the value proposition that they are giving towards their customers. And this has been the hallmark of our work for the last 20 years.
Understanding people's needs, customer needs, how can we be different, how can we be local? How do we bring the authentic Kenya to Kenyans? And the more we can do that, rather than focusing on what the other big boys out there in the world are doing, how can we be local, build Kenya, and buy Kenya?
Residents of Meru were mesmerized by a stunning solar halo that encircled the sun, creating a vibrant rainbow-like effect in the sky. The unusual sight drew attention and sparked curiosity among locals, many of whom took to social media to share their awe. Some recalled that similar occurrences historically signaled impending heavy rainfall, invoking traditional wisdom passed down through generations. Others claimed that it offered a more spiritual perspective, reflecting on the orientation of the halo, suggesting it called for peace during the rising tensions surrounding the ongoing impeachment debates involving Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. According to meteorologist Justin Mureithi, the phenomenon known as halo occurs when sunlight retracts and reflects through ice crystals.
Tuna vitu vingine zaidi inatuonesha kutakuwa na chakula na tutafuna mimea mingi sana. Sign ama hiyo alama imeonekana, inakuwa ukiona imesingirwa hivyo, hiyo inaleta amani. Hiyo ni amani. Ni kama vile leo umeona wazee tuko hapa, ni amani imekuja kuletwa ile kuwe kusiwa na vita. Na ndio design imeonekana, Mungu mwenyewe ameleta design yake. Hilo sign ya kuonesha. Kuna wakati mwingine hata umeona kama ni mweshi unapoonekana mahali ambao umeona umeunuka, ujue njia hiyo umeunuka kuna njaa. Kule umesimama juu kuna kushiba. Kwa hivyo inasemekana leteni amani. Mungu amesema amani yuko kwa pamoja. Ndio ameleta hiyo mfano wake uonekane. Jua anataka muwe pamoja. Kama ni ikulu muwe kwa laini moja. Msio mnawatoa wengine nje. Unaona? Nje ya kichaka, wawe kwa nyumba.
Those are the high level clouds which have formed at around from 20,000 feet above. And these clouds have a lot of eyes. These eyes reflect the light, and the light make a ring around the moon. Okay, the significance of it is to show that the atmosphere is accumulating some amount of moisture. And this is an indication that the season is around the corner.
Well, let's take a short break right here on K24 Newscut. We'll be back with more updates in a short while.
Usiachwe nyuma. Join us at the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon.